All right, today we're going to tackle a pretty radical idea. What if your business software wasn't a cage, but a launch pad? We're diving deep into the architecture of a new kind of system, a headless, open source ERP. And trust me, it's changing the game for developers and businesses.
So let me ask you this straight up. Is your business software a tool you actually love to use, or is it more like a prison you're forced to live in every day? For way too many of us, it's the second one. We're talking about these clunky, rigid systems that just hold back all of our best ideas. Let's dig into why that is. You know, every great escape plan needs a map of the prison, right? So before we get to the breakout, we first need to identify the four walls that keep businesses trapped inside their old, outdated software. Okay, wall number one, vendor lock-in. You're shelling out a fortune for a system you literally can't leave. Wall two, monolithic rigidity. Your software is basically a concrete block. It's impossible to change or update with anything modern. Then there's wall three, a terrible developer experience. Your tech team is stuck fighting with ancient code instead of building your future. And finally, wall four, industry inflexibility. You're forced to use a generic one-size-fits-all tool for your very specific business needs. Sound familiar? I bet it does. And really, this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got this locked safe. That's the old way, closed, proprietary, rigid. But on the right, a rocket ship. That's the new way. We're talking about moving from being closed and costly to being open and agile. This is not just a new feature we're talking about. It's a completely new philosophy. So, we've seen the prison. Now let's talk about the escape plan. And this isn't just about building a slightly better ERP system. No, this is about a completely new vision for how businesses can and should operate. This quote, this really gets to the heart of the whole thing. Just look at the key words here. Flexible, API first, and my favorite, empowers developers. See, this is all about building a super strong foundation and then letting your team create the exact custom solutions your business needs to win. So, how do we actually build this new world? Well, it all comes down to these four pillars of freedom. First, it's 100% headless, meaning the back-end brain is totally separate from any front-end face. Second, it's modular. You only use the parts you actually need. Third, it's developer first. Your tech team is going to love working with it. And fourth, it's AI native. It's ready for the future, right out of the box. Each one of these pillars is like a sledgehammer to one of those prison walls we talked about. Now, headless can sound a little weird, I know. So let's break it down with a simple analogy. Think of your software's backend, all the business logic, as a professional kitchen. It can make anything. The API is the serving window, and through that window, you can serve any kind of customer you want, a website, a mobile app, even an AI. The kitchen doesn't care what the restaurant looks like. It just focuses on making great food. That's headless. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's really just three simple steps. Step one. The back-end brain, built on a modern framework called Laravel, does all the heavy lifting. Step two, the API acts as the universal adapter, the plug. And step three, you just plug in whatever front end you want. It gives you total freedom, total flexibility. It's that simple. Okay, we've seen the big vision. Now let's get our hands dirty and look under the hood. This is where it gets really cool, because we're going to explore the architectural blueprint that makes this whole thing possible. One of the absolute key decisions here is the monorepo. So instead of juggling dozens of different code bases, everything, and I mean everything, lives in one place. This makes life so much easier for developers. It cuts down on errors, and it keeps the entire system perfectly in sync. And this table gives you a perfect look at how clean that organization is. You've got the main application in the apps folder. Then you have all these separate packages for everything else, accounting, inventory, you name it. It's like a perfectly organized toolbox where everything has its own specific place. This is that plug-and-play philosophy in action. I love this chart. Right at the center, you have the mandatory core, the stuff everyone needs. Then you just add on the modules you want, almost like Legos. Finance, HR, sales. You just pick and choose what you need. No bloat, no wasted resources. You know, having a great blueprint is one thing, but you've got to build it right. The execution is everything. So let's talk about the core coding principles that make this project not just powerful, but also reliable and built to last. This right here is one of the golden rules in software. Do one thing and do it well. On the left, the bad example is like a Swiss Army knife that's trying to do way too much at once.
But the good example on the right, that's a set of specialized expert tools, each one perfect for its single job. This makes the code so much cleaner, safer, and easier to work with. Okay, so here's why this stuff actually matters to you, the user. In the bad old way, you'd click a button to generate a big report and then just wait, staring at a spinning wheel of death. Now, with what are called asynchronous jobs, the system just says, got it, I'm on it, I'll let you know when it's done, and you can get right back to your work. It's a small change in technology with a huge impact on your day.
So what's the bottom line here? What does all this architecture and all these rules actually get us? Let's look at the real-world results of this approach and how it's getting ready to shape the future of business software. 95%. Let that number sink in for a second. That's the target for API test coverage. What that means is that almost every single piece of this system is automatically checked for errors constantly. It's a serious commitment to quality and reliability that means fewer bugs, less downtime, and way more trust in the software that runs your business. Less than 200 milliseconds. That is the target for how long it takes the system to respond. Now, to put that in perspective, a blink of an eye is about 300 milliseconds. So, yeah, this thing is fast, lightning fast. And this one's a big one, 5,000 plus GitHub stars. Now, this isn't just some popularity contest, okay? This number is a direct measure of how many developers out there believe in this project. It's a huge sign that this isn't just a good idea, it's a movement. So what does this all add up to? Well, you get a system that's built for the future, ready for the AI revolution, and it's completely open source. That MIT license means you can use it, you can change it, you can build your entire business on it for free, forever. No catches, no gotchas, just freedom. And all of this, it really brings us to one single massive question. For decades, we've all been told to buy our software off the shelf. But what if that's just been wrong all along? What if the future of business isn't about buying software, but about building it? That's the question this whole project forces us to ask. And honestly, the answer could change everything.